Evening. Welcome everyone to Boxpark Talks. My name is Fiona Hall. Today we're going to be talking about gender roles, and we have a wonderful panel that I would like to invite to the stage. But before we do that, can you guys just make some noise for yourselves, please? Just warm up the space. Yeah, we're going to have to work on that. Energy's a little bit low. Can we try that one again, please? Thank you. Got the panel cheering for themselves. All right, cool. So, for those who haven't been here before, Boxpark Talks is basically just a place where we kind of meet and discuss topics that are relevant or interesting. We've discussed cancel culture before, dating, double standards, monogamy and polygamy, etc., etc. So today we're going to be talking about gender roles. As I said, we're going to get into it, but we have a wonderful panel that I'd like to invite to the stage. So first of all, can we have Savage Dan to the stage, please? No, we got to do better than that. No, he deserves more than that. Can we just give him like a little bit more energy? Dan, can you? Thank you. Please. I know it's that, what day is it? It's Wednesday. The recoupling is happening. We're all going to miss it. I get it. Like legit. When I realized the recoupling was today, I was like, wow, maybe we should postpone. Like, legit. I know we're all going to go home and watch it, but for now, let's just work on the energy, please. So make some noise for Savage Dan. Yes. Perfect. You can sit here, if that's all right. Yeah. Is that all right? Okay. Secondly, please can we invite Carina White to the stage? Thank you. And last but certainly not least, he's just flown in from Ibiza, landed about an hour and a half ago and still managed to make it here in good time. Can we invite Gabriel Sion to the stage, please? Love that. All right, cool. So, oh my gosh, you've all been on a panel before. I didn't even realize that. We just kind of mixed it up.
Last time you set me up still.
Why is it a setup?
With Taser and what's his name?
No, that was literally fine. So we spoke about double standards when you were on the panel. That was about a year and a bit ago. And then Carina, you were on the panel. We were talking about clout chasing.
Yeah.
And Gabriel, I think it was like the second panel I ever did, and that was dating in 2022 with Arnold Ocheng and Lin May. That was a bit dramatic, but it was a lot of fun. All right, so we're going to be talking about gender roles across the board, including like relationships, household, parenting, etc., etc. So the first question is, and I'm going to ask Carina first, just because I feel like it. Would you consider yourself to be a traditional woman?
What do you mean by a traditional woman?
I mean, like,
I need definitions and examples.
You want an actual definition?
Well, not a definition, but just like an example of what is a traditional woman.
I think it's based on your perception. What do you consider a traditional woman to be? And do you think that you fit that?
I guess it's down to interpretation and experiences.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a two-parent household. Both my mum and my dad worked. The responsibilities were shared. So mum worked, dad worked. If dad got in before mum, he would do dinner, do school run, etc. So it was very mixed. So I guess some people would see a traditional woman as the one that takes care of the household and cooks and cleans and whatever. But in my experience growing up, it was very shared. It was shared roles. There wasn't like this person's responsible for this or whatever. Yeah. In terms of me, guys, I just want a soft life. You can just say no. I can be a traditional woman. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it very much depends on the energy that's being given from the other person. But in general, I am someone who will cook. I'm a feeder. I like to take care of people, so I will cook. I don't necessarily like cooking, but I can cook. So I will cook. Right. And, take care of the household. Do you know what I mean? So I guess semi-traditional. Okay. Semi. I was told the other day that. For me, because I feel like you wanted to say
he's
something.
He's ready to come.
Me? No, I'm just
he's like, semi. Like, what does it mean? I was told the other day that, obviously we'll get into it a bit more later, but I was told that you can't be semi. Like you either are or you aren't as a woman. But obviously, we'll talk about that a bit more later. Gabriel, I'm going to come to you next. Do you consider yourself to be a traditional man?
Also, I think it depends on culture
Okay.
as well.
Please, no, I need you to explain that a little bit.
All right, so when we talk about being traditional,
Yeah.
we're talking about how things were back in the days.
Yes,
we're talking
exactly.
about sort of when, let's go to when our parents sort of raised some of us. So a lot of us were born in the 80s. So I'm born in the 80s, early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And what a traditional man, I think, was supposed to be was a man who took care of the home. And because back in those days, you could have a one-income household.
Yeah.
So it was possible for a man to do that. And so if the woman was having a soft life, as Carina's alluded to, it was possible. Now we fast forward to now, where, back in those days, did a bit of research, in 1989, the average man was earning 14,000 a year.
14K
a year.
Okay.
The average house was 29,000 to buy. So that was just double his salary. So you can imagine that a guy who's working will have a lot of money left to look after the household. Now we fast forward to 2023. The average man in the UK is earning 29K, and the average house is 285 grand, which is almost times 10. So if you ask me now, am I a traditional man? Fortunately, I can afford to be one.
I need you to. Don't say that and then look into my eyes. I need you to explain it.
So that's why I am. However, if I couldn't afford to be one, then more than likely I probably wouldn't. And I think when we talk about gender roles, this is where it falls in. Where when Carina says she wants a soft life, you've got to be able to find a man who can accommodate that financially.
So are you saying that you can accommodate a soft life for a woman?
Where I'm at now, financially, yes, now, today.
Okay.
But no, that doesn't mean forever, because things are in seasons.
It means
but
today.
you're just elevating from. Gabe, I know you, and you elevate. So let's just say, I would be able to be a traditional.
Yeah, but
obviously something could happen.
But I'm not saying that because innately I'm a nice person. I'm just saying that I'm financially allowed to do it. Because if I wasn't financially allowed to do it, somebody would say I'm not traditional if my woman is working the same amount of hours as me and is paying half of the bills. I think you would argue that I'm no longer traditional.
Okay.
I'm asking, would you?
Potentially, yeah. But also, when I ask this question, it's not just based on like income and whether or not you're prepared to cook and clean, but just as a person. I mean, respectfully, that is pink, right? The hoodie.
Technically, it's not pink, actually.
No,
it's not.
I mean
pink.
it with. I genuinely.
Yeah,
there's absolutely
pink,
no disrespect there, but
no,
I mean like.
It's technically a feminine color, but it's not pink.
What color would you call it?
Check the color palette.
What? Marv's not here, so what color would you call it?
It's not pink. It's not pink.
What color would you call
more
it?
towards purple.
Salmon. You'd probably say salmon.
This hair is pink hair. That's pink.
Okay.
Salmon.
Yeah, it's two different colors.
So do you find that like salmon, pink, and potentially like a really like lilac is like traditional wear? It's a genuine question.
I would say
there is
that
no.
I don't have any issues with my sexuality, so I can wear whatever I want to wear. Because if I want to wear pink, I wear pink. Like I wear short shorts. So some could argue that it's a bit zesty.
Everyone knows.
I do what I want to do.
No, absolutely, and I don't want you to not do what you want to do. I'm just saying, do you think that those things are? Does that? When you said that you can be a traditional man because you can afford to take care of a woman.
Yeah.
But do you think that in other aspects, you are a traditional man?
For what is on paper, probably no, because I think to try and do what's fair in the household. So if two people are earning the same amount and the man and woman are both going to work, both should cook and clean. I think that's just fair. If you love somebody, you won't want to see them struggle. So why should she do all of it? Doesn't mean that I'm any more of a nicer man. I just think it's fair.
Right. That's fine.
It's good, the answers.
This is strong answers. Question 1. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, I think I am. I don't know. I just like to do stuff that men like to do. Yeah, I play football, box. I just like to go out every now and then. I feel like I'm like a normal traditional man. I guess I like to like pattern everything so that I patterned it. no one can't come to me because it's already patterned.
Okay.
But I just had a porn star martini.
I was gonna mention it. It was only right that I mentioned it.
I got a couple of salmon tops. So
Sure.
like, I have moments. I definitely have moments, but by the most part, I'm a traditional man, I think.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what? I don't like paying the bills. I'll be honest.
What? Sorry. Sorry. What?
I don't like. I don't
do you
like.
pay the bills?
Yeah,
Do you pay all of the bills?
I think so. You know, I'm getting knocked.
So you pay most of the bills, even though you don't like paying them. That's fair. No one likes paying bills, but you do pay most of the bills.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I guess
Right.
that qualifies
That's
me.
tradition.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Okay, so do you guys, obviously we've accepted that gender roles have kind of changed, traditions have changed. Do you think that there's been like a balance in the change? Do you think it's been equal? Or is it leaning more one way or the other? Carina. I feel like you're ready to speak, so I'm going to go
No,
over
because
you.
I was just thinking about. I think from a cultural perspective, it depends. Like, I do feel that when going back to what Gabriel said, when we think about our parents, if we think about Caribbean and like African communities, and back in the day, parents, the gender roles were very much defined. That a man would go out and work and look after the household, bring home the bacon. The mum or the woman in the household would take care of the household, cook, clean, look after the children, etc. Be kind of the homemaker.
Yeah.
I think now it varies because I do have some friends who are very much like I am the man of the house in their household, and are like, it's my job to look after the household. So their partners will still go out and work, and they will still contribute where they can, but for them it's very much that their role is to take care of the household and to look after the household and contribute financially and make sure their kids, their partner is taken care of. I think in terms of have gender roles changed, as Gabriel alluded to, income has changed. And I feel like even if you're not in a position to contribute to financially as a man for all of the bills, I think there's other ways that you can contribute and help out your household.
Yeah.
In terms of be there emotionally to support your partner. So for example, if you were to have a baby, for example, it shouldn't just be on the woman to be the one that's getting up at night to feed the baby or whatever. Even if she's breastfeeding, for example, it would be good for a man to be there with his partner, just be awake with her or supporting her when she's up feeding, or be like, babe, pump that milk or express that milk and I will do the night feed. I think it's not necessarily about traditional gender roles. For me, it's about working as a team.
Yeah.
And finding finding your role in that team. And it's not necessarily down to gender roles, because there's some men that don't mind cleaning, there's some men that don't mind cooking, and so they take on that role. But then there's women who will do other roles in the house. So for me, it's about, if you're in a relationship or you're in a partnership, it's about working as a team and finding out what your strengths are in that team and focusing on your strengths and doing that. If no one likes cleaning, you can afford it, get a cleaner. But let me tell you something, I ain't trying to spend my whole Saturday cleaning. I'll rather pay someone to clean the house.
What about your Sunday? What about your Sunday?
Any day. I'm not on it.
Okay.
I'm not on it at all.
I hear
But
it.
it's like I said, it's about if you're in a relationship, it's not about assigning gender roles and one person being responsible. Like
We're
the
going to
woman
get more
being
into
responsible
that.
for cleaning. It's about
We're going to get more into it. I agree, but we are going to get more into that in a bit. I'm going to ask the audience a question in a minute, but Dan, let me ask you that question. Do you feel like there's been, so we've established that gender roles have kind of changed. Do you think that it's been like balanced, semi-equal, or has it?
It's shifting.
Or not so much?
100% is shifting. Girls don't need guys anymore. Why are you smiling?
Sorry, I didn't mean to smile.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't, like, they don't. Before, I feel like it was the culture was the guy goes out, works, comes back, looks after the family or whatever it is, the home, the house. Now, women can go and do it themselves.
Yeah.
Like the jobs are readily available. You kind of have a man if you want a man now, I guess, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So that's changed the dynamics of kind of the like man being a titan in the house and everybody marching to his beat. It's balanced now. If like as you said, girls can run the show if they want, but it's about teamwork really. I feel like you should be a team essentially. I'm not the greatest team player, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But I have team qualities.
Sure.
Like I do the school run every morning. Like I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
but I gotta do
But
that.
that's a team
Yeah.
player, though. That is a team
Yeah.
player.
So I have
Sometimes
moments,
doing
but
things
like
that you don't want to necessarily.
I'm like
do,
you.
but
I'm not
do
doing
it.
the cleaning. The cleaning's
Sure.
not seeing me.
Got you. Understood. School runs fine.
So like I
then.
have moments.
Okay. Gabriel, what about you?
Do I think it's more even now?
Do you think that there's been like, we've accepted that there's been a change in gender roles? Do you think that it's balanced, as in men are doing things that were typically more so done by women and vice versa? Or is it?
I wouldn't say it's more balanced. I just think, as Dan said, women are now earning, which means that the stuff that women had to do sort of 20, 30 years ago, they're no longer doing because the workplace has invited them in more.
Yeah.
So when you talk about is it more balanced, I don't think you can get balance. I think everyone just needs to pull their weight. And I think I'll take shots at both sexes, but I think a lot of men need to understand now that this idea of having this woman at home who cooks and cleans every minute or at the click of a finger, it's no longer going to exist in every situation.
Yeah.
And the same rules don't apply for all. So there's certain things which you can get away with, maybe Dan. I might be able to get away with it. There's certain things that maybe, I don't know, a millionaire can get away with in a household that I may not. So I shouldn't look at what Dan's wife or girlfriend might be doing and be like, oh, she gets up and cooks and cleans. And then she might say to me, but I don't have to work. So
Yeah.
I think the balance doesn't really exist. And I think men generally need to understand that this cooking and cleaning thing, if your pay packet doesn't honor that, you're going to have to cook and clean too.
Not
Yeah,
honor.
facts.
One thing I would say though is this generation, or I feel like the reason why a lot of women back in the day may have been like, oh yeah, like I'll cook and clean, is because you had men that could do what has traditionally been considered men roles.
Yep.
Put up a shelf.
Uh-huh.
D-
Not
preach.
build a house.
Like, like that. Preach. Paint a wall. Drill a hole and put up something. Like, now, a lot of my friends don't know how to do shit. It's like, oh yeah, but why do I need to? Like, I can
Pay someone to do it.
someone, which is fine, but it's key skills. Like, I can drill a hole. Like, my dad taught all of my siblings
So
how
one
to do
second,
those things.
for 1 second, how do you drill a hole in a concrete wall? Just out of curiosity.
Pardon? Using a drill with
Okay,
the
just tell me the
correct,
step- just
with
tell me
the
the step-
correct.
just tell me the step, please.
Listen, Mr.
What drill bit?
Mr. Contractor.
Listen,
Mr.
what drill bit do
Contractor.
you use and what plug do you use?
No, because
okay.
because you need the wall. You drill the hole.
Sorry.
And before you secure the fittings, you have to use the correct wall plug.
It's not a
But
test.
Also,
This isn't a
it's not
test. This is
but
not.
I'm not even entertaining.
Don't
him
do
right
it.
now.
Don't let
And
him.
even if I didn't know, there's YouTube. And that's what
And
more
we're
men
always gonna
need
figure it out.
to understand. YouTube is free. And there's so much things on there that you can go and Google and learn how to use. But with that being said, I feel like there's a lot of men that want women to, nowadays, to undertake traditional women roles, but don't even know how to do the basic traditional male roles outside of paying a bill. So, for example, like I said, putting up a shelf, or like unblocking a toilet, or like things like that. And it's like, That's fine if you don't know how to do it or you can't do it, but don't expect a female to do traditional female roles when you can't even undertake the most basic of male roles. Do you know what I mean?
I understand.
But it's true.
I agree.
I understand. Dan, do you think men are becoming more feminine in general, not yourself?
Yeah, they are.
Why?
I don't know.
No, but what makes you like what? What I mean is, what has changed that makes you think that? Like, what do you see? What do you experience that makes you think, oh, that's a little bit? Obviously, we've spoken on the porn star martini already.
Yeah, I don't know. 'Cause I don't remember that being a thing old school. But you know, like there's loads of salted caramel.
What?
Like there's just loads of things now that are just almost like designed to make us a little bit softer. Like, I like all of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, so
Like,
you're only
yeah.
really supposed to like strong, bitter drinks, but you're enjoying the sweet things, yeah?
yeah, I don't know. I don't drink beer, but I know
Right.
that that's one of the main man drinks.
Yeah. Is it for all
All
nationalities?
cultures, yeah, I
though?
don't think so. But we got Red Stripe.
Red Stripe, yeah.
Yeah,
and Guinness.
Yeah, I
You're
don't
not drinking
know.
a Guinness,
I
Sam?
just I've got a sweet tooth. I like sweet drinks, and they just all seem to have like a flower in them or something. That's my problem. Yeah, men are getting more feminine, and women are getting more masculine.
Right. Is that the thoughts of everyone else on the panel? Does anyone have anything to add to that?
I would disagree. I don't think women are getting more masculine. I think women are doing what they need to do to survive and to exist in a world where men are not conforming to what is traditional male roles.
Right.
I wouldn't say women are getting more masculine.
Right.
I would just say they're undertaking.
More masculine roles.
Isn't that
Yeah, but when you say are they becoming more masculine, it like I've got a vision of like a woman.
Yeah, I'm not saying you lot are taking
Visually
testosterone boosters, but I'm just saying that in general, like you're taking more control. I feel like women were more passive in our parents' generation than they were now.
And what was the big deciding factor as to what women didn't have back then?
Monies.
Yeah, and now we're getting high paid jobs, well paid jobs. We're accelerating through we're accelerating the career ladder.
yeah?
So we're empowered to be able to do things for ourselves.
Yeah.
So is this all about money, really?
Absolutely not.
I don't think it's all about money, but I think also because, like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean if you're in a household that doesn't necessarily have a high income, it's more about how you function within that household. So it's not necessarily about a man paying all the bills and whatever, because that might not be feasibly possible for him to be the sole provider, but it's about figuring out in that household how you exist as a team.
I think if we do a proper forensic examination on this,
You think it's going to all come down to money?
I think a lot of this is going to come down to money.
Is that why you ordered a porn star martini?
No, that's nothing to do with money. Like, they're
Okay.
all the same price.
Okay,
But
so that's
I'm now thinking of a couple of relationships that I know my friends are in.
yeah.
A couple of them, the women are the high earners in that relationship, and the women are running the show. Like, there's no chance he makes it to Ibiza. Like, no chance.
Oh my God. Not allowed to go on Ibiza, no. There's no. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. Gabriel, what do you think? Of course, I'm so sorry to. That's really sad.
Nightmare, innit?
That's a really sad
Yeah.
story. Why? Why is
I
he
don't
not allowed
know.
to go Ibiza?
I don't know. I wish I knew.
It's like.
I wish
no,
I
it's
knew.
not because he
I think
can't
he's saying
afford
how's
it.
he gonna afford to get to Ibiza.
It's like
I think-
no,
is
it's
that
not about
what you're
affording.
saying?
Saying
It's
like-
about
There's a hard stop. No, you're not going.
like you're not allowed to go in it because I'm paying the bills. So have you got spending money? Because do you get what I'm saying? It's techie. It's very techie.
I wouldn't say it all boils down to finances because there's much more that's involved in a relationship. However, when we talk about someone being more masculine and more feminine,
Yeah.
I think I keep going to what Carina said about living a soft life, and I think I've learned that when I was a lot younger, I wasn't the nicest to women, and it was because, not to make an excuse, when you're constantly in survival mode, it's very difficult to garner sort of happiness or peace. So in general, to people, I wasn't nice, and women got the brunt of that because I wasn't happy with myself.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the more I've sort of learned, and the more I've experienced in life, especially, and I don't want to boil it down to money, but I think we can all say that when we're in debt and when we've got those red letters, we're probably at our worst, whether you like it or not. And I think a lot of the things I do now for people is not because I'm a nice person, because I'm in a better place. So a woman may be able to be more feminine around me. And I don't want to boil it down to that, but the energy that I can give when a lot of men say all they want is peace, can you garner peace in that relationship? Because a lot of men say that's all they want from women.
Right.
But are you in that setting where you can bring peace? And the financial burden, and I keep talking about, falls on men generally, on a man's man. I don't want to say it to say that you're not a man if you can't, but generally speaking, the financial burden, most of the men that I know, and I can only use my 3 sisters who are married with men, they're all the breadwinners. And my sisters can live a soft life. So I don't want to boil it down to saying people are more feminine and masculine, because when you start talking about gender, then you start saying that anyone can be everyone, which is fine. Be wherever you want to be, but biology will state that if you've got an X and X chromosome, you're a woman. If you've got an X and Y, you're a man. But you can do whatever you want to do, left and right.
Yes, exactly.
But I think with feminine and masculine, I would say that I just hope that men understand, and I can only talk for men, not women, that you have to garner that peace in a relationship for women to be more feminine. And I don't know what that looks like in that relationship setting.
Okay, so in your experience, do you think that women are becoming more masculine?
As I think Carina said, they're just doing what they've got to do. And I think generally that means because times are hard, they're having to do more. And I don't want to boil it down to money. But,
but ultimately, audience question, do you guys think that women are becoming more masculine? Put your hand up if the answer is yes.
So even split.
Okay, it's mostly women that said that. And do you, those who answered yes, do you think that it's by force? Like, it's because everyone has to?
But who's forcing you?
By force.
Like, who's forcing you? I'm confused.
The mortgage company.
The mortgage?
The mortgage company.
Yeah.
The environment.
Interest rates.
The environment. One second. It's all right.
I love a debate. I think that obviously as you said, 80s, not that many women were in the workforce. Now we are in the workforce. We're in a workforce that is patriarchal. So therefore we have to be more masculine in order to get our voice heard, in order to be respected, in order to have gravitas, etc. So sometimes I think it's difficult to then like distinguish your work space to your home space. But then to the points that's already been made by the panel, if you're then coming home and your other half is not being your better half, then obviously you're going to also have to fulfill the gaps. So I.e. if they're not doing the skills around the house, such as putting up the shelf, then you have to then put up the shelf. If they're not, then I think money is something, but I think that is more about the emotional support and all that sort of stuff. I think a lot of guys are requiring more emotional support than they previously needed. I think some guys are also entering into relationships wanting a mother as well, so therefore like there's a lot of that's also going on. And so I think that it's true though. So I think that I think women are doing it by force. I don't think any woman, I mean, not that I've come across anyway, any of my friends, we want to be in this role. We want to be feminine. We want to be able to just be like, do you know what I mean, like cocooned and safe and everything else. But it's like the guys are just not. Some of the guys, not all of the guys, but some of the guys are just not giving.
Can I ask
security.
a question though? Yeah, do you feel like you relinquish some? Just suppose you do get the soft life, and you got the millionaire man, and he does everything and pays for everything and life's sweet. Do you feel like you relinquish some power there?
That's what I was just going to ask, to be fair. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second.
I think it's less about money, and I think it's most. I mean, I know this soft life thing has come up. It's not really my kind of thing. Like, I'm much older women, but I've seen it on like Instagram and stuff. I don't think. I think obviously that sounds nice and everything else, but I don't think that's what, like, realistically, if we actually dig down deep, that's not what we're actually looking for. What we're looking for is emotional support and emotional, like, we're going out into a world where you're like constantly being hit. Like, we get as attacked just as much as the black male does. Like, obviously it depends on skin. No, as in, no. What I mean is, in the workplace, no, seriously, in the workplace, obviously it does depend on different circumstances, but in the workplace, we receive a lot of microaggressions. We're constantly like being put down and everything else, and then you want to come home and you want to feel emotionally safe, and you can't then also feel emotionally safe in your household because obviously your other half, if he's also black, is also experiencing the same thing. So you've got two people in the house that's both dealing with emotional trauma, and it's like who's supporting who, and then so that's why I just think it's all got a bit crazy.
Okay.
I think it's down to money still.
Stop saying it, Dan. All right, I have a couple of questions based on what we just spoke about. A question for the women. If you are in a relationship and there's a shelf and your partner's not putting it up, are you doing it instead? Please put your hand up if
I'm
the
either
answer is
doing
yes.
it myself,
You're doing it yourself?
or I'm
Really?
paying someone with my partner's money to put it up, and I'm letting him know it was an issue.
So you're going to do it yourself? You're going to do it yourself?
Or I'm going to use his money to. I'm going to drop something like, well, if you're not going to do it, you need to pay someone to do it.
So if he can't do it, are you doing it yourself? Or is it more if he just doesn't have time, he didn't get around to it, whatever?
If he see,
Why did you buy the shelf? Why did you buy the shelf? Why did you buy the shelf?
I'm a very impatient person.
Yes.
So if the shelf is there and it needs putting up, I want the shelf put up.
Yeah.
So right. So let me tell you something. The other day,
She says she'll call her
the
dad.
other day, my lawn needed mowing, and I asked my male friends, and they were like, "Oh, it's long, you know." My 70-something-year-old dad came the day I called him. And
That's
came
male
and mowed.
friends, though. That don't count.
Let me
I
tell you
don't-
That don't
something.
count.
No,
I don't
but
think
I'm just saying in general, like.
I'm not sure. I don't
This
think that
is the
counts.
thing, like, I'll just call.
Because
my
a male
thing
friend
is,
can't
I'll
ask
just-
me to come and
No,
cook.
but I'm just
not
saying,
going.
like, no, but my point is, at the moment, if I need anything done, I'll either call my dad or I'll call, like, I'll go on, what's that thing called? One of them apps
Check a
or
train?
whatever. Yeah.
Something like
and
that.
get someone to come and do it. And I think that, like, even when I'm talking to, like, my friends and I'm saying, oh, like, does your partner or whatever mow the lawn? And she's like, they'll be like, yeah, I've had to like proper get onto him, or I've said, yeah, we're having a barbecue or whatever, so he's done it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
And
don't
it's
keep it
like,
down, please.
Can you not appreciate or value the home that you're in and have those kind of, I guess maybe I come from a privileged background in that my dad very much, if there was a shelf that needed to be put up, my dad would do it.
Is that
If there was-
privilege, though?
No, but I mean in terms of when we talk about gender roles compared to now.
Well, that's the
compared to
thing.
how
I
they
don't
are.
think. I think now it's kind of privileged if you have a guy that's like, yeah, I'll cut the lawn, I'll do this, I'll do that. But during those times, that was standard. Like, of course I will.
Just checking. Is it okay if he just pays for it? Is that okay?
If you pay for it as soon as
It's
I
fine,
ask,
but
then,
I'm gonna.
get it
Because the
done.
key is that it gets done,
But
right?
what's the
Yeah, as long
reason?
as it gets
What's the
done.
reason why you're paying for it? Is it because you don't have time, or is it because
I think 'cause
you
my-
just don't want to
what
do
I
it?
might
Or you,
have- What am I have
You
to
don't know
pay
how.
somebody? My time's worth more than that, so I have to pay someone to do it.
isn't it more, sometimes just about like doing something for your
What?
household?
Okay, look. Same Carina said, "Come and
How
mow
long
the
does
lawn."
it take to?
I'll be honest. If Carina was my missus and said, "Oh, the garden needs mowing," and was asking me to do it, I would tend to think it is my role to get it done because that's something she's going to do. So I'll just pay for it. I'm not doing it.
I'm not. I'm not mad at it. I'm not. I'm
If
not.
you have kids,
I'm not
does
mad.
Does that change the dynamic? If
I'd
you
rather-
have no,
You know what,
if
yeah,
you
I'll tell
have
you what it is,
like approaching teenage years.
I like
I
the
love
fact
that,
you
Carina.
mentioned- I
Carina,
like the
that's
fact
a
you
great
mentioned
question.
privilege, yeah? I like the
Great
fact you mentioned
question.
that. I've come from nothing, and I've seen nothing all my life. I thank God that I've now met people who live what they call a normal life. The trauma that some of us have gone through growing up, we've normalized and think is normal. The things we've seen. Some of this stuff is not normal that we've gone through. So with little things like when you're talking about paying for something, it's like, what the hell? Fortunately, I've got friends now who are a bit affluent, and the things I hear that they grew up with, I'm like, that really happens. And the things I tell them happen to me, they all want to say, are you all right? Like, is everything okay? Like, I'd rather pay for it. Why am I working hard for? I'm not mowing the lawn for 2 hours.
So what Carina just said in terms of having children who are aware of what's happening and maybe like being a role model, are you just going to, you still wouldn't think, oh, maybe they should see me cut the grass so that they can see that I should.
For what? I don't
The
understand
reason why I
I'm not
asked
cutting
that,
the
the
Okay.
reason why I
grass. Why need to cut
asked
the
that,
I hear
grass?
what
no,
Huh?
okay.
If we're doing it for some bonding, don't get me wrong. If it's like to say,
No.
okay, let's do some bonding, let's put up a shelf. Don't get me wrong. It's important to teach men and women these skills.
Yes, yeah.
Because cooking is a life skill that everyone should know.
Of course.
So it's important to teach men and women how
Of
to
course,
put up shelves.
of course.
Teach men and women how to put up a wardrobe. It's not just something you got to teach boys. I think everyone in the house should know how to do
No,
a
whole
shelf.
wardrobe.
notice I didn't specify gender.
No, I'm just
with the
making that a
kids.
point because obviously we're pushing all this
Yeah.
carpentry stuff to men.
The reason why I asked is because my upbringing, I came from a very middle class household. My dad could have easily said, I'm paying someone to do it. But he did it himself and made sure that we were there, regardless of whether it was me, my brother, my sister, whatever, we were there watching
To see him.
watch, like, mow the lawn, changing car tires, like things like that. He taught us how to do all of that. So that's why I was asking you, if you had kids of a certain age, would the dynamic of having children there watching you or
I
whatever
think-
change whether you do it yourself or whether you pay someone? Because for me, I will pay someone if I have to pay someone, but at the same time, the way that I was raised was we've been instilled with the life skills, regardless of whether we're male or female, to be able to do things ourselves. Because I don't know about anyone else that grew up in middle class households. My dad was tight. He could afford to put heating on, but it would be like, Dad, we're cold, and be like.
So is
"Go
that
and
not
put a
why he
jumper
did the
on."
show for himself then? Because he's tight.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's that's what I'm saying. It was his way of, like, obviously I
But you
can't
said he's
answer.
tight,
I
though. You
can't.
said
No,
he's tight,
that's what
but-
I'm saying. But I'm saying I can't speak for my
He's
dad.
tight,
But
you said he's tight,
no,
though.
he was tight. He still is to this day. Are you mad?
That's why he did the show.
No,
But
he just
right.
won't pay for
But I'm
something
saying
that he can do himself. That's
right.
it. Yeah.
But also as well, I feel like it was a way of protecting his income as well, like not spending money
So
unnecessarily.
Nah, he's a
is
hustler,
it
man.
feminine
This
if
is
a man
why
wants a soft
why
life?
I'm
So is it
asking
feminine
you-
if a man wants a soft life? Just out of curiosity.
That's not what.
No, I just want to know
Wait,
though.
can you answer
'Cause I
my
want a soft
question
life too.
first? Can you answer my question first?
I want a soft life
So my
too.
question was, answer my question first and
Go
I'll
on.
answer that.
No problem.
If you had children
Okay, yes,
of
go
a
on.
certain age,
Mhm.
would that change the dynamic
He's
of
already
whether you
answered.
would pay? No, because I want to hear the
No,
reasoning.
okay, so I'll tell you what it is. There are certain things that I'd want both of my, just I had a son and a daughter. There's certain things I want both of them to see in the household. So I want them to both learn certain skills. But if you're asking me, generally speaking, if things need to get done in the house, am I doing it myself or am I going on Gumtree to find somebody? I'm going to pay somebody. I do renovations regularly. I can paint, but I pay someone to paint.
But do you not want your that's what Karina's asking
That's
though.
what
It
I'm
makes
asking you.
absolutely no difference
what?
that you might want to show your children
Okay.
that you are doing these kind of
Doing
things
what
and that
things or getting it done?
No, I'm
Doing
saying
them, doing them,
instill
not getting it
certain
done,
life
doing it
skills
or
in
getting it
them.
done.
I said doing them.
As in physically having to like
I
mow the
said
lawn.
physically doing them.
Honestly, I might show them once or twice, but I'm paying someone to do it.
Okay, so you would do it. You would
I'll tell you
do
what
it
it is, yeah?
yourself once or
Once
twice
again.
to show them.
Once again, when my friends had cleaners, I used to say to them, why do you have cleaners? When they explained to me the amount of time it takes to clean and what their time is worth, and I understand why they pay the cleaners.
That's
Yeah,
different
I
though.
get
I
that.
think
So
I
that's
I'm
not what
paying
I'm
someone to mow the lawn.
I think cleaning is a little bit different.
But it's time.
I get a weird satisfaction from doing some of these men things. I'll be honest. I'm a full-blown builder. Like, I love, get my
But that's-
DeWalt
That's what I was
screwdriver out.
asking before.
I like it sometimes. I'll
Is
be
there
honest.
not like a sense of like
Yeah,
like,
but
I did-
also
like, I
I don't
did that.
want to pay a man to do the same job I can do.
because you don't want to spend,
I
or
just-
because
there's no point. I can do it. Like for me, it's just there's no point. If I can't do it, then cool. Let's bring in someone.
yeah.
But if I can do it and I've got the time to do it, I may as well just do it and save myself a bit of money.
How much time do you generally have? Because you're always out.
Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Presenting
But-
everywhere. So you
No. But as in, I'm a workhorse. Like I'll just go. Like I'll go straight from here. I'm gonna go do some work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a work. I don't mind it because I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Like what am I gonna do? Sleep?
No, why would you? All right. So a question again for the women in the audience. Do women want a soft life? Like, speaking for yourself. Literally. Why are you laughing? Please. Please.
Yes.
Speaking for yourself, would you like, and when I say it, like, I feel like when we're referencing soft life, for me, it's like you want to be completely taken care of. You want someone to pay for your everything, your hair, your nails, your enjoyment, and you don't have to work. Is that something that you are aspiring to, or that you would prefer as a female? Put your hand up if the answer is yes.
All right, this is crazy.
2 hands.
This is
Three
bonkers.
hands.
Yeah.
Three
Your
hands.
hand should be up.
I'm
Because
tired.
you've not put any negative
I'm tired.
connotations out yet, and everyone's got their
No.
hands down. Like, you
guys,
haven't
I'm-
said in exchange for power, for
No,
you're
of
saying,
course.
do you want someone to make your
So you
life
think that
super
I need to-
easy?
so I
I'm
need
saying
to-
it's just, I would
All right,
want that.
so
I want that.
I feel like
So do I.
it goes
I want a
without,
soft life too.
it goes without saying. All right, it goes without
That's what
saying.
they mean
but
when they say
let me
that
be
men
more.
are getting too feminine.
Let me be more specific.
Dan's made a huge point. He hates paying
Nah.
bills. Do you think any man actually enjoys paying bills?
Let me be more specific. I think it's that's not what we're discussing at this moment. I'm just asking a question. So, soft life, you're taking care of your hair, nails, it's wonderful. You get to go like every single week, get a refresh, all of that good stuff. However, you have no power. Like Dan's friend, you can't even really decide if you're going IB for or not. It's not
seen it.
your call. It's a case of whether or not like he's okay with it. He gives you an allowance, but well, how else are you gonna pay for your things? You need an allowance. No, it can't be in between. It's because it is all or nothing. For my example, it's all or nothing. Because what Dan said is fair. So there's only 3 people that wanted soft life. Do you still want?
Extreme though, Fee?
I don't find that it's. I think
that's realistic.
I think it's realistic.
Well, not extreme, but I feel like in the sense of when I say soft life, it comes from a space of I'm 38. I know I don't look at guys.
Stop, please stop. Yes, honey.
Cheers
Yes.
to my sisters over there.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, like I'm 38. My daughter's 13.
Yeah.
I've provided for my daughter. I go out to work. I provide for her. I work. I'm director level. Like I do a lot. I'm tired.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I do all these things because I enjoy it. Like if
Yeah.
I was to give you a typical day, you'd be like, "Rah, Carina, how do you do all of that
I hate you.
in one day?" I'm tired. So for me, I would say when I say soft life, I don't mean give me an allowance. I don't work at all. Like I'm just sitting.
So you want to be able to work by choice.
Right.
Work
by choice, but also have someone
that's too that's too easy.
That's soft life anyway.
That's
Work
too
by
easy.
choice is soft life.
It is soft life, but it makes the example too easy. Of course, you want to work by choice, only do the things that you enjoy doing, and be fully taken care of, but also have your own money on the side.
But also, I feel like a lot of men as well that I have come across in my lifetime also feel a little bit intimidated by a woman that doesn't necessarily need them.
100%.
Who earns her own, like has her own going on,
No.
and it's like actually
You okay?
they don't need to they don't need to put up with certain things because it's like with or without you, I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
100%.
So for me, at the point that I'm at now, I'm like, actually, I'm quite tired. So when I say soft life, it's like I'd like someone to be there for me emotionally, mentally. Someone who can be there. And some people may say, oh, but that's like a typical relationship or a normal relationship or whatever. But also not everyone has had that, hasn't had that opportunity to experience something like that. Like, again, going back to what you were saying, I would like to have to work by choice because I want to work, not because I have to. And I feel like looking at, for example, again, going back to my background and my upbringing, my mum worked by choice, not because she necessarily had to. So I'm like, actually, I would love that. Like, I'm tired of being the one that's getting up at 5 a.m. and doing dinner in the morning and then going out to work to make sure that there's dinner when we get in from school.
Not dinner
Do you
in
know
the
what I
morning.
mean?
No,
So
Karina, it's got to
that's
stop.
what I'm
No,
saying.
it's got
That's
to
what
stop.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
No, obviously my daughter's older now. She cooks her own dinner.
Please,
it's fine.
because I can't. I don't want to wake up tomorrow
It's
thinking
fine,
about
but
you
I
making
think-
dinner in the morning. That is it's just I can't.
Honestly,
You deserve more than that.
Thank you, guys.
Honestly.
But I feel like if people say if women say they want a soft life, it's looked down on. But it goes back to what certain people have been saying, and a number of people have been saying that women are going out and they're working and they're essentially doing certain things to survive in a patriarchal society. And some people may be feminists and like, no, you know, that's what we should be doing. We fought for that. I didn't fight for that still. Like I'm good. I'm good to stay at home and do whatever. Do you know what I mean? But not everyone is like that. And I feel like everybody is different. If some people want to go out and work and that's their choice to go out and work hard and whatever, that's fine. But also other women, some women do want to have a soft life. They do want somebody to take care of them, etc. And that is fine also. And I think it needs to be recognized that both sides are fine.
All right, I have a question. I appreciate that both sides are fine. But if, from a man's perspective, if you are providing soft life for your woman, as in she only has to work when she chooses to, but then sometimes it means there's no dinner. Is that fair?
No, but it's a give and take. Like I said, it comes down to teamwork. Everyone that I know who are the breadwinners in terms of their male and their breadwinners and their wives or partners, maybe stay-at-home wives, they're taking care of the household in whatever capacity that might be. Again, it comes down to teamwork. You can't have someone who's taking care of the household financially, looking after you, and you're sitting at home not doing anything, because you've got to support your partner.
No, of course. I mean, I'd like to hear Gabriel and Dan's thoughts, but what I'm saying is, from a man's perspective, how can you come with a straight face and be like, take care of me, but actually, because I know you're saying soft life and this, but I know you like working. You might not like working by force, but you are not. Karina, please. But you are not the kind of woman that is prepared to sit down and
Guys, I'll do school run and go and lie in my bed for the whole day. And
you're lying. You do it for 2 weeks.
Sunday.
You do it for 2 weeks, and then you be out protesting the week after. So just stop, please. Like, they don't know you, but I do. So let's be honest. Like, even if you are working by choice, especially as a creative, like it's not structured. Do you know what I mean? So that doesn't mean that you're going to be home every evening. So how can you say to a man, actually, I want you to look after me, but his expectation is that you're going to take care of everything else, and you're not able to. That's not really.
It's the expectation, you know. Like, you shouldn't expect something because you're doing something, really. So for me, if I go home, I'll provide a soft life. But if I go home and there's no dinner, there's just no dinner. I'm not gonna be like.
It's not. There was not no dinner. Dan,
So
there was not no dinner one day.
Everything.
What, every day?
There's not every day, but she like 3 days a week. There's dinner.
Dan, you're
I've
paying
got
for
one
everything.
room.
Yeah, I
Your
hear
partner's
it.
got soft life, and you're coming home and there's no dinner, and you're alright with that.
Do you know how much restaurants there are where I'm from?
Yo, Dan, I think I don't know. Do we even believe you? Like, if that's genuinely how you feel, then that's pretty special.
No, me, I don't really mind that much. If there's not home cooked food for me every night when I get back,
guys, please. I know it's outrageous what he said, but
I'll just crack on, man. I'll just crack on.
Just crack on.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
Do you know what?
All right,
I come home
Let me
late.
take it far. So 3 days a week, there's no dinner.
At least 4 though.
All right,
Yeah,
there's
I'm
four
okay
days a
with
week
that.
there's dinner, but on 2 of those days it was leftovers, and then no, wait, let me finish. And also, the clothes are getting washed like once every.
No, but now you're adding.
No,
You're doing, yeah.
No, but the clothes are not really.
Now I'm going to start asking you what you're doing with all this free
The
time.
surfaces weren't wiped before bed.
Yeah, I hear it now, because now it just sounds like I'm living alone. Really.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No,
so
I hear that. Yeah,
obviously, dinner is like the first thing that we refer to when it comes to women, like cooking, etc. But in essence, what I'm saying is, if she's out and she's working, that means she might not be able to wash the clothes as often as they need to be washed, or she might not be
100.
able to clean out the fridge or do whatever else she's doing while she's in the house.
Yeah, I hear that.
While she would be in the house.
You see me, if something's not done, I do it. in my house.
Right.
So that's like if the washing up's not done, it might take a couple days, but I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. If you're not gonna do it, and we're having a standoff, then I'll get it done. But
Not a standoff.
in my house,
It happens, you know. It happens.
No one's doing
It
it.
happens.
I hear you. Did you want to say something?
You made your point about the soft life, but I don't always see it as that. For me, soft life it's not just like personally for me, I love what I do as a job. So that's neither here nor there. But for me, a soft life, unfortunately, in the world that we live in, a soft life is like, I want to be able to have a conversation with you and you not have to get angry and walk out. I want to finish the conversation. I want to be able, when I'm upset, you see I'm upset, you ask me, are you okay? And if I say, I'm not sure, that you delve into that and we have that conversation. I want to know that I've come home from work and you're home early and you run me a bath, actually, for today. Because I know if my man's had a hard day at work, I'm running that bath for him. I'm making sure I'm massaging his shoulders. Are you okay? Like, do you want me to put the TV on? I know what your favorite show is. That doesn't necessarily mean
what
I'm
star
going to
sign
be...
are you?
I'm saying it's wifey material over here, my
That
man.
is crazy.
Wifey.
She's
What
moving
are you
mad.
telling me?
No, but it's no,
What?
but it should be not. That's why I go back to saying about teamwork. Like it's about
No, tell the people what your star sign is, though. Just tell us. We want to know.
You gotta be a Cancer. She gotta be.
No, I'm on a cusp. I'm a Virgo Libran.
Oh no! Nobody said. Who said yeah, Virgo? Who said?
I'm not in stuff.
Are there any other female Virgos in the building? Is that what you're on? Yeah. Well, you don't know. You know. Okay. All right.
So when you were saying like, make sure my hair's done, make sure you're paying for my nails and all that sort of stuff, I don't need you to do that the same way I'm not paying for your shape up and I'm not paying for. Do you know what I mean? It's not that for me in terms of soft life. It's actually just like, can you the amount of love I'm putting into you? Can you put that into me when I've had a hard day? That's all I'm asking. That's what it is. I want to be able. I want to be able to communicate with you, and I want to be able to like.
You know, please,
Sorry,
please,
sorry,
please.
one second.
Keep it
Are you
down. I'm
talking
coming,
from a
keep it
female's
down.
perspective?
How I
So
love. Yeah,
basically-
of course.
So, all right, just out of curiosity,
Please. Because I'm going to start inviting people on stage. Because everyone's so chatty, but I know you ain't going to want to come on the stage. Specifically in the corner.
They'll come.
sorry,
They're ready.
Yeah, go on.
just out of curiosity,
Yes.
what sort of traits do you think a man who is going to be a breadwinner who can take care of the whole house? So you look at the corporate world and look at the men who are at the top.
Yeah.
What traits do you think those men generally have? I'm talking about personality traits.
Sorry, just why are you asking that? Because
I'll get to it in a minute.
I can tell.
Just go ahead.
I can tell you why.
Because you met. I'm going to get to it in a minute.
I don't.
Don't worry, there's always a method to the
basically-
madness. Just answer the question, please.
To me, I'm not really thinking about that because that's not really a problem that I have. I don't need.
What he's basically alluding to.
Okay, you don't want to answer the question.
No, but I need to understand. If I'm going to answer, I'd like to understand why I'm being asked it. I think that's a fair comment. I don't think I have to answer a question I don't
It's fine.
understand.
Don't worry, it's fine.
yeah,
That's
that's
no problem.
All right. So what he's basically alluding to is he's saying that a man who's taking care of the whole household and paying for all the bills is so stressed out that he doesn't have time to support you emotionally or capacity. Maybe not time, but that's basically what he's getting at. So, but she doesn't care if he pays the bills. We're talking about two different men.
No, I wasn't.
saying.
What was I? I think you felt that I was trying to attack you or come at you.
No,
somewhere.
I didn't at all.
'Cause-
But I haven't really thought about that because I don't need a man to be the breadwinner. Like
go on.
that's not something that I need to look for. So I don't need to worry about it. As long as that man can support himself, I'm not carrying you the whole time. Then that's fine. Then we can work things out. I'm very much in a
What's
partnership.
carrying a man? So just your definition of carrying a man.
Oh, like so that you're paying for everything. So I've had a partner in the past that lost his job. So then he was on benefits, so he was able to pay his half of the rent, but I paid for the food. I paid for when we went out. I want to make sure
Teamwork.
that he was.
You lot still went out.
Yeah.
How long was he unemployed
Yeah,
for?
she's a G.
He was unemployed for like 3 months.
3 months. All right, fair enough. Did you want to say something else?
I just want to talk about soft life. I just want to be very clear on that because I just want.
Just
So
to
from-
reiterate what she said, it goes back to what I was saying around having someone who is there for you emotionally
Yeah.
and physically, whether in whatever capacity that might be. It's not necessarily about kind of paying for everything or whatever, but having someone who takes the burden off of you that you're not having to deal with certain things by yourself.
Yeah.
So when you say be there emotionally, So now we talked about men
Be
being
more specific about being
men
their
being very
emotion.
feminine. Okay, being feminine. We mentioned men are becoming feminine. Obviously, an emotional trait, crying and being angry are both sides of emotion. So just because a man doesn't cry doesn't mean he's not emotional. But when you talk about a guy being emotionally there for you, just explain what that characteristic is, please.
It doesn't mean that he has to cry.
No, I'm just asking what that means.
And just so everyone's clear, it's fine if a man wants to cry. Yeah. In terms of being there emotionally, if I'm like, oh, I had a hard day at work or I'm stressed out about something, you responding, wow, that's mad. That's not being there for me emotionally. That's not. Just to be clear, because some people think
teach us men in here what you. No, I'm being genuine. Teach us men in here what you would want.
Okay.
It's a shoulder massage, you know.
And the bath.
Or even if you don't know, because that's what I'm saying. Even if you don't know the right words to say, it's actions. So it's like, all right, cool. I know my girl's had a long, hard day at work. Babe, don't worry. Let's go for dinner. Or do you want to get a takeaway? Like, you don't need to worry about cooking. Or I've run you a bath, like Miss over here said. Like, it's actions. It doesn't necessarily have to be words or having a conversation. But if you don't know how to conversate, like, or communicate, or you find emotional conversations hard, it's actually, you don't even need to give advice. Sometimes for women, especially for me, I don't know about everyone else, but for me, sometimes I just want to let it out. I just want to vent. I just want to moan about like my day at work or something that's happened. So it's like, rah, babe, what happened today? Well, you know, Steve said this and blah, blah, blah. Rah, is it? And then like, what happened? Do you know what I mean?
It's just a big thing for them, you know.
No, honestly, I'm telling you.
It's a big thing for
them,
you know.
I don't ask about a day. I don't tell you about my day, but I won't ask you about yours. But then you start reeling it off.
You know what, Dan? Yeah?
And I've got to now getting my message active.
Why don't you ask about her day?
Dan, that's my biggest issue, you know, my problem. I don't care about your day. Not in a bad way.
I care. I'm not asking. But that's fine.
No, I'm not asking you. But okay, Dan, why don't you ask Dan? Dan, why don't you ever ask?
Why do you do this?
Wait, 1 second, wait, Dan, because what it is, yeah? Be honest, Dan, why don't you ask?
I don't even care about my day like that.
So it's not even, and when you ask me about my day, I don't care about my day either.
Yeah.
So it's not universal to you. And that's my biggest problem is that I don't care about my day. So when you,
you gotta pretend.
So when you, 1 second, Carina,
you've got to say.
So when you ask me about my day,
you gotta do that face.
I've had to teach myself to care about my day. I've had to now start itemizing what I do in my day. If you ask me what do you do today, I say, oh yeah, I went to work and let's say someone ran out and didn't pay for the bill. Okay, is that it? I'll be like, more stuff happened. We served customers, but
okay.
I don't really care about my day.
Gabriel,
did he say he wasn't a traditional man?
It's not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily come down to gender roles, Fee. It doesn't necessarily come down to gender roles, but in relationships, there's gonna be things you don't give a fuck about. I don't care whether, as much as I'm into sports, I don't care whether Arsenal lost.
So this is the balance.
But
I swear down, this is the balance.
But I will pretend like I care.
Will you though?
I will pretend like I care that
but will you
gone
though,
to
babes?
Chelsea and you're next to it and this person missed a penalty and like I'll pretend.
The thing is,
I don't care, but I will pretend to care.
But
Same
can you pretend?
Of course you can pretend.
Do you think it can be genuine?
That's mad, is it?
Pretending is not genuine.
No. Like Liberty, he should have taken that penalty and won it. You can pretend. Same way, there's certain things. If you've had a bad day at work, and you start to learn. Like sometimes some of my friends tell me things about work. I don't know who these people are, but I can tell you like who Steve is and Jenny and whatever. So every now and then, because I know my friends just want to vent.
It's the passion.
I'm like, rah, that's mad. So why did Jenny do that?
Yeah, of course.
And no, that's out of order. You should definitely talk to them about.
I don't even know where my missus works.
Oh, Dan, man. What are you talking about?
Dan, please.
What do you mean?
What I'm saying is, it's give and take. It's give and take in relationships. There's going to be things that you don't care about on both sides, but in order to fulfill the needs of your partner, sometimes they're going to want to vent about something as irrelevant as you may think it is and that you don't care, but it's on you as their partner to be like, you know what? I actually don't really care about this, but I know at this point, recognize actually they just want to vent about it. So I'm going to allow them to vent and pretend like I'm
All right,
interested.
just one sec, Dan. How many times have you asked your mate, your male mate, how his day was?
No, what?
Just how many times?
How was your day, mate?
Karina, how many times have you asked your woman friend how her day was?
I don't ask them how their day was at work.
Or they've come and
but
told
I'm just
you.
like, oh, you're good. All the time, but
I say men and
Yeah,
women,
we don't
differ
operate
so
like that.
much.
We don't.
We don't
we're
operate
wired
like that.
differently.
We don't even say bye.
So I know, but what I'm saying, so
But
when
it's
you,
different
go on.
because like your friends and your partner.
I know,
is
but what I'm trying to establish is that when you
dynamics.
get offended when there's certain things that men generally don't want to do, it's not a personal attack at a woman. It's
Yeah,
just
but there's things that
we
I don't
don't
want to
do
do
that.
either.
What, like pretending you like football?
No, I actually do like football. I just don't care if your team lost, especially if they're not my team. If
That's
it's
not
not
nice.
Arsenal,
That's
I don't
not nice.
business. I don't care.
That's not nice, though.
No, but
I
the
support
point is that
Arsenal.
she's
We're
prepared
used to lose it. Like, come on, that's trauma enough.
The point is that she's prepared to pretend.
Thank you.
All she's saying is everyone needs to pretend. That's it.
There's going to be, it's about give and take. There's going to be things that you, even in friendships, right? There's going to be things that you don't like to do or you don't want to do or whatever, but you do it because you love that person, whether it's a friend or whatever. There's going to be things that you do because, especially in a relationship, there's going to be things that you don't want to do as a man. You don't know where your girl, is that true?
I saw my life. I don't know where she works.
Do you know what she
Do you know what she does?
Do you know what she does?
Do you know
She's
what she
in tech
does?
somewhere.
Do you know anything more about what she does?
I don't know. Work.
Does she work from home?
Yeah, 4 days a week. I'm not.
4
So on
days
that
a
fifth-
week,
so
and
on
you
that
don't.
fi- so on
You
that
haven't
fifth
overheard
day-
one
On that
conversation.
fifth day that she goes into the office, she don't know where she's
Do you know what her
going.
office is?
Okay, I got shit to do.
That's
Like, as
crazy
in, like,
to me.
I don't know. I genuinely
Do you know
don't know
what?
what the business is called.
I
Every-
bet she's told you and you
Why
just
do
not
you
No,
not
I know,
that?
I know. She
I feel
like
like you
told me.
need to know that, like just for safety.
Yeah,
Imagine
for
there's
safety, I should
imagine
know
there's
it,
a
but
terrorist
I
attack
forget
or
it.
something and you don't even know if she's in that area because you don't know where she works.
We need you to find that information.
I'm gonna find that out. I should know it.
Dan,
I
when you
do.
go-
I've been told it,
Dan, when you
but I'm
go
just not
home
retaining
tonight-
it.
You need to retain that.
When
That's
you go
important.
home tonight, please find out where she works and what she actually does. Yeah.
You know,
What's
you know
work day? Work day. That's a tech thing, isn't it? Work day. Anyone here? Yeah, work day. Somewhere in work day. She's in there. Yeah.
But like I was saying, there's going to be things that in a relationship you're not interested in or you couldn't care less about. But because it's important to your partner, you feign an interest. You pretend to be interested in it because it's something that's important to them.
When does the compromising stop, or do you just always compromise and pretend?
Forever. It doesn't. It
No,
doesn't
this-
stop.
no, I'm-
It doesn't stop.
I'm giving.
What
So,
do you mean? In what
so like
context?
when you say you compromise and you pretend to have interest in things that your partner likes, I just wonder, when does the compromising stop?
It doesn't. It's
I don't
like
think it
when you have
stops.
it's like when you have kids and your kids are like, "Hey, mum, look what I can do," and they do some bullshit twirl on the, and you pretend to. You're like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" You pretend to be interested, right? Do you see what I mean? It's this. Fee, I know your son does. Right? She's laughing because she knows. Now, how many times, like when my daughter was young, Mum, look what I'm doing, and she does some bullshit. I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. I don't care, but I'm gonna pretend because it's important to them to show me. Same as like a partner, something might be important to them. You couldn't care less, but you're gonna pretend like you're interested.
Do you know what
because
I would
it's
say?
Something that's important
I
to
think
them.
men are better at though.
Pretending like they're listening.
Understanding that you don't care, and they just won't bring it
Keep
round.
it down, please. Keep it down,
You know what I'm
please.
saying?
Please,
Like,
please.
I don't even want you in the front room when I'm watching football. Because I know you don't care. What are you even here for? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you know what, Dan? I'll be real, yeah? Up until this last question, you were smashing it, mate.
No, but you know,
you were
like,
doing so
but do you see what I'm
well.
saying,
I was
though?
like,
Like,
oh my God,
why
he's
you
an
here?
example.
You're just
But
here.
now you're just moving.
No, but
If she
think
was
about it properly.
interested in it, would you want to watching sports with you if she was interested in it?
Genuinely
Yeah, if she
interested.
was genuinely interested, yeah,
Okay.
of course, yeah. But if you're not, like, I can watch Harry Potter with her.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah, but
Right, you have a question or a comment?
Kind of a comment. Basically, I agree with what Karina's saying, but with a slight difference. So I wouldn't say pretend. It's all about like your love language. So the way that you love a person, you're going to love them enough to realize, you know what, these are the things that they like. I'm going to make my adjustments. So you may not care about the football, but in that moment, yes, babe, I feel you, like whatever. Not pretending, but in that moment, that's the support that he needs. from me. And in the reverse, you don't care about my day, but you know I'm stressed.
We don't need that support, you know.
Don't be angry with me.
Because you don't need
so
it. It
true.
doesn't mean
Okay,
that
we
your
don't
partner
need that.
doesn't
I
need
never
it.
Maybe
You know
not
what it
we.
is?
Maybe not we. I don't. Let me not talk for all of them. I don't necessarily need that support.
I agree.
I feel like
with
it's
what
really
you were
hard to
saying.
pretend with football.
Football's,
Like,
yeah.
you can't, it's either you care or you don't. I don't think you can pretend to care with that. That sports and that kind of stuff, the passion, if it's not there, it's not there. But we're going to go to a break in a minute. I just want to ask again, the ladies in the audience, if you had to choose between, obviously, you made reference to emotional soft life, and we've heard reference to financial soft life. So, if you had to pick, and you could only pick one, which one would you pick? So please put your hand up if it's financial. 2, 3, and put your hand up if it's emotional. All right. So just to add some sauce, yeah, because you know I always got to add a little bit of sauce, innit? Are you changing your vote? You changing your vote? You want your nails done? Changing your vote, yeah?
I just want to ask, is emotional soft life a thing? Because I feel like that's basic life skills in a relationship anyway. It is, isn't it? It's basic life skills.
The thing is, it's not something, in my opinion, that everyone has the ability to do, like to be emotionally available and communicate in the right way, but it should be. Do you get what I'm saying? So that it's not impacted by like gender roles or changes or anything like that. I expect that there were men 150 years ago who were emotionally available and could communicate. Do you get what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying. It should be a basic life skill, but it isn't. So are you changing your vote? So you want to vote again? So can we do that vote again?
Wait, did you go for emotional or financial, sis?
She didn't.
Oh,
she didn't vote. She wants to vote.
Your friend next to you. Yeah.
Did you go for emotional or financial?
Neither.
So you want to be broke and sad?
With financial, whatever it's called, my fear is that if you rely 100% on the man, when he's ready to bounce, then what have you got left? That's why I feel like you still need your own stuff.
That's why when you have your weekly or monthly allowance,
You're just
Squirrel that.
put some aside.
away.
When he leaves, you still have hope. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I don't agree with the financial soft life thing. I think everybody should have their own money.
You think everyone should have their own money? All right, cool. So anyway, can we do that vote again? Because I feel like it wasn't conclusive. So can you put your hand up if you would choose financial soft life? And put your hand up if you would choose emotional soft life. Wow. I respect it. I'm doing financial B. Like, the thing is, I just keep it 100. Like, I couldn't ever. All right, I know. Hello. Hi. If you could just, if that's okay. Thanks. All right. Personally, I don't think I would ever like not work. Do you know what I mean? Because I enjoy what I do, and I also just feel like I'd be really bored if I didn't have anything to do to fill my time. And I feel like everyone has a purpose, and part of that is working is part of fulfilling your purpose, obviously, depending on what you're doing. But I would like to be taken care of. Yes. Of course. But the emotional thing, I mean, as we've just seen, they don't really care anyway. So we're probably all used to it without even knowing that there's no emotional intelligence.
Let me just, before you say don't care.
Sorry.
Okay.
They want to care, but they can't.
I care, I just don't know.
I care about how you are.
Don't care.
I care about how you
don't
are,
care.
what's going on with you. But you see the itemized, like, list of
No one
everything
s-
that's
no one
happened
said
that day.
itemized.
You can't do small talk,
No one
right?
said
Like,
that.
You can't do small
Just
talk,
tell me
right?
what happened. So
I hate those
Just tell
phone
me what it
calls.
was. Don't tell me from that direction, or just get to the point. Why did Gary piss you off? That's
Not
fine.
get to the point.
Just-
Excuse
just-
me.
no, just
I
get-
need to
get to
tell
the-
you. No, because there was context.
No, but-
So actually, at 10 o'clock, this happened. And then at 20 past, that happened. And then we had a meeting
No,
at
see,
11.
look,
And then it was.
The thing
and then
is-
in the meeting, A, B, and C happened.
I'll be honest, I'm trying my best to be that guy. I mean, genuine. Because I said how I've been raised, and unfortunately, how stressful my days are with what I do. I genuinely just want someone to get to the point, as in, just let me know what happened. And then,
let me just.
and I'm learning again that a lot of times when women vent to you, they don't want a solution. They just want you to listen. I'm finding it hard.
See?
Wait, one sec.
See?
Don't clap
See?
for me. Don't
He's
clap for
worked
me.
it out.
You
It's
should've
only
kept
taken.
on, you know, you
I'm not
should've
him
Don't
yet.
clap
I'm not
for
him
me.
yet. Don't clap for me. I'm not him yet. But I'm trying to learn. Because as men, the
I'm not
first
a
thing
nice
we do as
person.
men,
Do
we try
not
to
clap for
solve
me.
problems. And my biggest mistake I've learned as a man is that whenever someone comes to rant with me, I'm always trying to solve the problem.
Okay, so what can we do? How do we fix it?
What
What happens next?
Because if you come to me 8 times about Gary, at some point I'm going to say, all right,
So what?
okay, let's
what we
break
gonna
down
do
Gary
about
and try and solve Gary's situation.
What are we going to do about Gary?
But she doesn't want a solution. But she just wants to vent about Gary again.
He
and
said
do
if
you know
she
what?
doesn't like Gary,
It's
you
the
don't like
active
Gary,
listening.
and that's it.
The thing with active listening is you
Yeah.
have to like constantly respond.
Exactly.
So like, you got
Exactly.
yeah. But as in like sometimes you get caught because you say you're not listening, are you?
And you're like, no, of course.
Like so like I do a thing where I cling on to like keywords.
Yeah.
So that when she
That's
tries to
mad.
check me,
every now and then, that's mad.
Not keyword.
Innit?
it was a,
Dude,
yeah.
that is so foul.
Basically,
Key
what
words.
Dan and
So you could be like, oh yeah, you were talking about Gary in it because obviously at work.
It's a
And she'll
lot
be
of
like,
info because
yeah.
there's a lot of small talk in this that I'm not great at small talk. Like
Me
if you phone me
neither.
for nothing, then I'm gonna be on the phone like this.
I hear you.
Dan and
like-
Gabriel
I'm
are
quite similar.
basically saying they're at capacity. They don't have the capacity to.
No,
take
I can
on
do it, but as in,
they
luckily
don't,
I've got a
and
missus
that's
that
fine.
knows my
That-
limit.
okay.
So like she'll know I'm not listening. She'll like fuck you.
It's healthy. All right, cool. We're gonna go for a break, and for like 10 minutes max. So please get your drinks, get your food, whatever, and come straight back here. Thank you.